good morning, and very good morning. Welcome to the show. Welcome to VUEGRAPHY. Today we are going to talk about the firmware upgrade for Nikon Z5 1.40. Yeah, 1.40. That's the latest firmware update for the Nikon Z5, and it brings some really cool changes. Especially related to autofocus tracking. Before it was face only, now it can detect eye in the video mode, and also some other features. But I'm in this video, I'm going to talk specifically about the eye tracking and face tracking feature, or the eye tracking feature, or in a nutshell called autofocus performance of the Nikon Z5 in the latest firmware update. So before I tell anything, I need you to check this like real life performance of the Z5, which I shot from my iPhone because that's how I do. I don't have Ninja 5 to record the EVF, so I thought, okay, let me capture the eye tracking and everything of myself into the mirror through the iPhone. So let's check that video and then we'll come back and talk about it later. All right. So I have this Z5 and I just updated its firmware to 1.40, which is the latest. So I'm going to show you how it performs in real life scenario. But before we get into that, let's switch to video. And as you can see me, that's me recording in the video. All right, that's in the video. But I want to make sure few things. First of all, I need to see which version I am having. I'm having version 1.0. All right, so that's given. Also, I need to go into the autofocus and tracking the autofocus. This is where I have to keep this thing quick, or let's say, okay, let's say in the middle. So basically what it does, it says choose how long the camera waits before adjusting the focus when the object comes between the camera and the subject. So it means that if focusing my eye, all right, and if my hand comes, so how long the camera should wait to switch the focus from eye to hand. So that's what it is. So right now it's right in the middle, all right, and as you can see, it's striking my eye, and if I bring my hand, all right, so it's basically focusing on my hand. So it's back and it's on my hand. And what aperture I am at f4. So if I further zoom in, so I'll get more clear depth of field. So alright, so still okay, it's focusing on my eye. Now it's hand, now it's eye. And if I try to come in between, the hand eye is still try to lock on the eye, still on the face, but right now the focus is on the hand. Move back to the eye. Now what we have to do, we have to change the setting. And now instead, let's say it's set quick. So camera going to quickly jump the focus from eye to hand. Alright. So it's given. Okay. So let's try this. So it's right now. It's on the eye. Yeah. The shifting of focus is much faster now. Yep, it's much faster shifting the focus. Yep, yeah, it's quickly shifting the focus. Okay, what if we delay this? Let's say I need camera to keep the focus on the eye and delay as long as possible. Let's try that. Alright, right now it's on the eye. Okay. See? Now it's keep tracking the previously subject. So now if it's on the hand, let's say it's on the hand, it's keep on hand. The focus is now on my eye. Blocking comes, still on the eye. Now it shifts. And it's taking time to shift the focus back to the eye. It's taking time. Yeah, it took time to shift the focus on the hand. It's still taking time to shift the focus on the. Yeah, there is a delay. There is a delay. Let's switch to quick. So I'm telling the camera to jump the focus quickly. Jump, 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 jump. Okay, if I'm going to set this in the middle, it will taking time a little. Yep. Yeah. So this is the firmware. Okay, now I have to look over that. Yeah, it's the firmware 1.4 of Nikon Z5 real life test of the autofocus. I hope it gives you a real experience how it is, which is improved. Actually, it's improved a lot, a whole lot. Now it's eye autofocus because previously it was face tracking in the video. Now it's eye autofocus, and it's working smoothly as far as I can see. So that's it. So you just saw the performance of the Nikon Z5 with the latest firmware 1.40. I believe there is a huge, like, significant difference in autofocus performance, especially when it comes to tracking, and especially that blocking feature which I showed in the video in the earlier part, which really giving us how the camera should keep lock the previous locked subject when something comes into the front, or it quickly jumps the focus from the previous lock focus to the near, foreground, or whatever comes in between. Previously, the camera was not able to decide what to do, so it was keep switching the focus between the block and the previously locked subject. So previously in the Z5 used to do that. Now it's more consistent, it's more stickier, as you have seen. If it depends on how you are telling the camera to behave using the option which I showed in the earlier part of this video, and it's really responsive. And the overall nutshell, like what I see after this upgrade, the performance of the Z5, usually Z5 is considered the entry level full frame mirrorless camera, which it is. Uh, its autofocus was not being acknowledged the way people think. Oh, it's an entry-level camera. Its autofocus is not as good like Z6 II or S5 or S5 II from Panasonic or Sony A7 III, because that's where these all cameras lined up. All are 24 megapixel camera. Here's the thing. I told this thing before multiple times that technology comes with price. It always has and it always will. You know, technology, if you need a technology like best autofocus performance, like snappier, stickier, to the point, you just think and the camera behaves. If you need so like this performance, obviously you have to go with higher end cameras. You will not find this kind of performance in the mid tier or the low tier cameras. Z5 is the low tier camera, which is entry level full frame, and it is right now the cheapest full frame mirrorless camera in the market, which is you can find with a good deal under $1,000. A7 Sony A7 III is still around $2,000, maybe between A1700 to 2000, somewhere between like that. So Nikon Z6 II is $2,000 straight up, 2,200 in some cases, and the Panasonic S5 II still same price bracket, $2,000. But Z5 is the only camera, full frame, mirrorless, which gives you the near performance, autofocus performance like Z6 II, Panasonic S5 II, and A7 III at the lower price point, nearly half the price point. So if you want to spend less money and you need to make a decent amount of videos which performs autofocus performance decent enough now after this firmware upgrade for 1.40, trust me, there is no other better camera than Nikon Z5 full frame at the lower price point with much better autofocus performance than before, near close to that 6.2, near close to a Panasonic S5 II, near close to Sony A7 III. So that's the realistic approach and realistic review of mine after this firmware update of Sony, not Sony, I'm sorry, Nikon Z5. So yeah, the Z5 is basically the best camera for the buck, the best money that you can spend on and get almost the high-end performance camera into a cheaper camera like Z5. Thank you for watching this video, and I hope to see you guys in future with some new content. Till then, take care.